Things have been changing. Things have been developing for the better. There have been real questions raised about this coming war. There's a very real skepticism in the United States about this whole venture. There are people who remember the last one, who got all worked up with it. Let's go, let's go get him in Iraq. Let's go get Iraq. Let's go kill him. George I's approval ratings in January 1991 were 93% when he bombed Baghdad and killed all those innocent people. 93%, because this was war. As I told you before, these people mindlessly rallying around the flag. Within 10 months, George I, unbeatable, 93%. Within 10 months, he had lost re-election for President of the United States to a garrulous governor from Arkansas. What happened? Well, people woke up after the patriotic binge, and they said, USA, USA. Hey, you know, this is not paying the rent. USA, USA. You know, this isn't feeding the kids. You know, this isn't getting me a job. What's happening here? Did we get the whole story, or didn't we? There's another difference. That last war, the U.S. was able to corral the capitalist democratic leaders of all sorts of other countries to send troops and to participate. This time, in all these various countries, people are saying no. Germany. Look at Germany. Gerhard Schroeder. Now, Gerhard Schroeder is a slimy right-wing social democrat who will sniff the wind and go anyway, like his dreams. Gerhard Schroeder, 17 points behind during the campaign, emerges and squeaks through and wins because he emerges as a late-blooming peacenik. He says, German troops will not go in any war against Iraq, and he won an election. It was the power of the people registering upon him. Let's take lapdog Tony Blair. I call him the senator from England. Lapdog Tony Blair, who never met a U.S. president whose hand he didn't want to lick. Just a few weeks ago, Tony Blair was saying we're going right down the line, we're going to be in there, we're going to take the action, usual stuff. And then 350,000 Brits demonstrated, remember? And now Blair has shifted over, remember? Right. In Italy, Saturday, has it been reported anywhere? In Italy, 1.5 million Italians demonstrated all over Italy, estimated 1.5 million Italians. The people are aware and the people are moving, despite their stupidities, despite the way they can be fooled about things at times. It's amazing. What is amazing is that in the face of this monopoly propaganda that we get in the States, and I think you get a lot of it here in Canada too, in the face of that, we still have people who are questioning and who are wondering. The people of Ecuador, in weeks of civil siege, have forced the government to rescind privatization. There are warrants out in several countries for Pinochet's scalp. At least 3 different countries have warrants out for Henry Kissinger. That's good. There's a struggle going on right now to keep the collective farms in capitalist Russia, to keep them and not give them up. There's land redistribution going on in Brazil, done by the people themselves, seizing the land all through southern Brazil. There have been massive demonstrations all over the world. There have been general strikes. Even in the U.S., demonstrations are beginning. We're beginning to gather momentum on this whole Iraq thing. I was in Marin County just 2 weeks ago, Marin County in California is vintage. It's California essence, you know. And I talked to the organizers there. They said, you know, we have a peace vigil, 10 people show up with candles against the war, and this past week we got up there and 150 people came with candles. And the people that kept going by in cars, a constant blasting of their horns. It didn't stop. It's you know, what is that? Continual blasting of the horns and people giving the thumbs up and cheering and saying, yes, no war, no war. Marin County said we had a demonstration. We had a demonstration. We were hoping to get 300 or 400 people, and 2,000 people came out in Marin County. That's Marin County. I mean, that's hundreds of people who abandoned their hot tubs, who skipped their yoga classes, their meditation sessions, trudging the hot streets, some of them supplied with nothing more than a granola bar. I mean, the image it's inspiring. It's an inspiring, beautiful image, you know. It's moving all the rest of us. Just the other day in Cincinnati, 5,000 people came out in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, Cincinnati, Ohio is considered part of the U.S. heartland. Some people call it the wasteland, but whatever. I mean, Cincinnati people, that was an unusual figure, and it's just starting. 5,000 people. That's hundreds, you know, leaving their bowling alleys and whatever else and going out there and doing these things. So, we have people in motion, and we must inform ourselves. We've got to organize and mobilize. We've got to join with other groups, labor unions, community groups, church groups, professional associations, at all levels. There's no going back to 1900. The future has to be not their future, but our future.